of Dr. Zhang Liang, Dr. Tay, and also Dr. Gary, who used to be here but now in USA. I'm sure you all wonder, everybody wonders about this. What are the driving forces behind the stock market? What actually makes the stock prices move up and down? So specifically for us Malaysians over here, you'll probably be wondering, what are the determinants of stock prices in Malaysia? On top of that, many of you, especially in the finance industry, with the latest technology in fintech, artificial intelligence, you'll probably be thinking, what if I were to use some methodology from machine learning and try to determine the determinants of stock market prices and see what happens? So to answer that, under the supervision of actuary supervisors, let me present to you my study entitled Determinants of Stock Prices, Contemporary Evidence from Malaysia. As usual, before we perform our study, we have to look at what has been done. So over the years, yes, there were many studies done in this area. However, most of the studies were done in the developed markets such as US, Europe, Japan. And there were not many studies done in Malaysia. However, the evidence have shown that the stock market prices in the emerging markets are actually, they behave differently. Mainly because cultural, economical, political structure, they are different. So there is a tendency for our stock market to behave differently than those in the developed market. So a more localized studies will be more appropriate. So during our review of past studies, we found there were actually very limited studies in this area in Malaysia. As a matter of fact, most of them, a few of them actually, that appear, they were done before year 2000. And since the year 2000, I'm sure you all know, so many changes have taken place. Our trading used to be T+7. Okay. After year 2000, it was changed to T+3, currently it's T+2. Commissions cut. Used to be 1%. Now what? Malacca Securities offering 0.08%. Intraday. And also, access to information is completely a different ballgame right now. Used to be waiting for the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock news, whatever. Now you can just get almost real-time news updates. And there's also an opportunity for us. So by looking at that, right, basically there were no prominent studies for the Malaysian market since year 2000. So we take the opportunity, update the studies using the latest methodology as well. So we take that as an opportunity for us to do something new. So keeping that in mind, we designed our studies by collecting monthly data since January 01 until June last year. And in total, we look at 22 factors that we think, or actually based on the previous studies, that have certain impact on the share market. So these 22 factors were divided into 4 categories. First category is company fundamentals, PE ratio, dividends, profitability. 10 macroeconomic factors, such as unemployment, inflation, interest rates, so on. Many previous studies, especially those on the emerging market, they will look at how the international stock market index actually affect them. So for that, we also think to two international stock market index, US and Singapore. Why these two? US, well, they're the largest, biggest in the world. Singapore, close proximity with Malaysia. On top of that, Singapore is our largest trading partner. As a matter of fact, 14% of our exports go to Singapore. So we feel that Singapore probably has some large impact in Malaysian market as well. On top of that, because every country is different, and like I said, previous literature show that emerging markets behave differently. So we look at what are the unique things that we should take into consideration. We found three. Number one, palm oil. Palm oil has a big role to play in Malaysia. Number two, political connections. Number three, Sharia compliant. These are three unique things that we found that could be having an impact in the Malaysian market. So combining these 22 factors, we use two methodologies to look at it. One, the conventional regression methods, which has been used for many years, basically based on the asset pricing theory proposed by Stephen Rose from MIT. And this method has been used widely for this type of research. On top of that, we look at machine learning. Machine learning is a wide field, so we basically use this method called XGBoost, which is the very new method developed only in 2016. And what it does is it does predictions. They have won many awards in predicting things. The good thing about this model is at the end of it, they will tell you what factors do they use to come up with the predictions. So based on the report, we can see what are the important factors. Analyzing this using both methods, of course, the results, there are some differences, but amazingly, the most important determinants of stock prices in Malaysia, both of them agree that these are the four factors, most important. Okay. Number one, company profitability. Well, you probably think that is true. However, if you look closely, it is negative. Meaning, company that has lower profit has been contributing to the stock return in Malaysia overall, more than companies that are making large, huge profits. That shows that's strange. But if you think about it, yes, it could be correct. If you look around, ask yourself, ask your friends. A lot of us, when we buy shares, we don't ask about profitability. We ask who else bought. Number two, palm oil prices. So palm oil prices definitely, okay, a lot of people will think that oil prices has more impact. However, if you look at it, Malaysia is heavily reliant on palm oil prices. That's how our market is. And that's why we get so upset when the Europeans, they are boycotting our palm oil. And if you look at the palm oil prices for the past few years, it has not been good. Well, our market has not been good. Singapore stock market returns, well, it has a positive returns, has a positive impact in Malaysia. Makes sense. Singapore, our largest trading partner, if they do well, their stock market does well, they will have more import from us, our company will do well, and thus our stock market. Exchange rates. Stronger US dollar, stronger ringgit against the US dollar will have a positive impact in our market. I guess a lot of people agree on that. Some politicians may tell you, oh no, okay, it will be good for our exports. Well, not exactly. That's what we found. So, from these studies, what we can do is, the industry can use these factors in evaluating the performance of portfolio or the performance of the portfolio manager. Adjust for it and see whether their returns is still as good as they claim to be before giving them the huge bonus. Of course, with that, you can also use it for asset allocation. So in a way, it will be, it doesn't serve like the diversification purpose if you have a huge chunk of your money in the Malaysian market and in the Singapore market, because both of them are pretty much moving in the same directions. Finally, the million-dollar question: can we use this for prediction model? Well, to answer that, you have to stay tuned to my next slide. Again, my name is Tiang Kok Fu. Thank you very much.